Hello everyone! Welcome back to Periwinkle Dream Studio. Today I'm going to be doing my weekly setup in my N2 Common Planner. If you don't know what an N2 Common Planner is, it's basically Sterling Inc.'s version of a hobonichi Weeks. So let's get started. Okay, so I'm thinking for this one, I'm going to be doing a strawberry theme. This one is like a strawberry and cat theme. And I pulled some strawberry washi, one of my more cartoonish ones. And I have this heart sheet that I actually got from Walmart for like $1 or something. This is going to be for decoration. And then some more strawberry stickers. And to tie in the green, I have some thin green washi options. I have a Stabilo in the color 47, which I don't know the name of it. I think this is strawberry red. And then I have a Monami plus pin in emerald green. I'm also going to be using, this Tombow Fudonosuke, don't know how you say it, but I'll be using this one, and this is the hard tip. My fountain pen with Sterling Ink Presses Highland Smoke ink in it, and I also will be using a mild liner that I forgot to take out. I have too many pens in my pencil pouch at the moment. I actually went to, let me stop rummaging. I went to a market today to sell my stuff, and I ended up selling the last of my cherry pencil pouches, which I was really happy about. So now I truly have the last one. Alright, so I did a setup in this last week, and I liked how it worked for me. I actually did a mock-up one, like when I first got this back in October. This is what I had for this week. It's really ugly because I smudged it. So yeah, let's get started with this one. So this, I don't know if I've already said it, is my health and hobby planner. I'm also going to be flipping back and forth because I don't remember it by heart yet. Let me get a clip. And in here, I just track anything health and hobby related. So one of the things I track is meals. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Wow, that's crooked. So I track the meals that we'll have throughout the week. This isn't necessarily for health reasons. This is just because it helps me to know what we're going to be eating, what groceries I need to pick up, things like that. So I'm going to go ahead and fill these in. Alright, so that's for the meals. And then on the other side is where I track other things. So I'm going to go ahead and draw a line down the center. Or I guess it's not the center, a line off-centered. Oh. For this planner, I don't plan to do really intricate like setups with like the washi or whatnot. It's just a little bit something to make it cute. But other than that, I'm not going to put too much emphasis on this planner. Just for time's sakes, also so that it doesn't feel like it gets overwhelming. I'm going to do it this way. But at the same time, I still want it to look aesthetically pleasing to me. And I like cute things. So we're going to make it cute. And then I'm going to box in the bottom. Alright, that's our meals section done. So last thing to do is add a header. I'm so proud because I have been working. I wanted to learn how to bounce letter. And I'm left-handed, so it's kind of hard for me to watch videos and learn. So I taught myself. And it's not the best, but I think I'm doing a pretty good job. Alright, so that's for meals. I'm going to go ahead and use my Monami Plus pen to write the days of the week down on the other highlighted things that I did, or lines that I did. These are some of my favorite pens to do hand lettering with because the nib is so small and it's quite stiff, and that it just gives me a bit more control. So as I said, I went to the market today. And it actually was pretty good. The last one I did 3 weeks ago at the same market, I didn't make a lot of sales. I barely made back my table fees. So today was actually really good compared to that. Still not what I would expect, but it was pretty good, pretty decent. I made back my table fees and I made a profit, so I'm grateful and happy with that. I sold a couple things I don't usually sell. So my postcards and my sticker sheets, well, the postcards typically sell a little bit, but I don't typically sell my sticker sheets. They don't sell very well. But today, I sold a number of them. And the postcards were quite popular. So I was really, really happy about that. Alright, so for washi, I'm just going to put a strip. I'll wait to do the washi because I know where I want to put it. I'm going to wait. Okay, so for this side, I'm going to start setting up this side. I have my iPad on the side with a picture, so I don't have to keep flipping the page back. So basically on this side, that's not the right thing. On this side, I track my workouts, hobbies. I have a health and hobby related habit tracker, and then I have my water and sleep tracker, and then I do a scripture at the bottom. So at the top, I'm going to put workout, and I'm going to mark it here so I know when to stop. And then I'm going to skip a line, mark it so I know when to stop. Didn't get there yet. Alright, so I'm going to use the same Monami Plus pen and write in the days of the week. Alright, so I accidentally didn't skip 2 lines. I should have skipped 2 lines, but it's fine. It doesn't need to be perfect. Alright, so under that I do my habit tracker. And for this one, I just do a line almost all the way across, excluding the first and last lines. Alright. And so the ones that I track are I'm going to have to turn this sideways. I track my vitamins, my supplements, my workout, or whether or not I work out, whether or not I've read that day. The reading thing isn't necessary. I just kind of want to see how many days I read throughout the year. Whether or not I do a hobby, and you might be like, that's redundant. Don't you read for a hobby? But reading is not a hobby for me. It's a pastime, it's a leisure, but it's not necessarily a hobby. I'm not that passionate about it. I just like it. Languages. Same with languages. I'm not that passionate about it, but I would like to learn a new language, so I don't include that in my hobbies. And then stretches for my hip, which I'm really bad about doing. So I'm going to start back here so that I know I have enough space, and I'm going to try not to smudge that. And this is going to be Sunday, Saturday, Friday, Thursday, Wednesday, Tuesday, Monday. And there is my habit tracker section. Under that, we're going to do water and sleep. So I am really bad about drinking water. I will drink it. It's not that I have a problem drinking it. It's just I forget. And one of the ways that I have found to mitigate that is to actually drink out of a cup with a straw. So I have like a knockoff strawberry Stanley that I use. And I find when I have a straw, I tend to drink more water, which is really good. But I want to make sure I'm staying hydrated because, you know, water is healthy. The more water you have in your body, the better off you'll be. And I don't want to be a parched little fish, as I call it. So I'm going to track my water. I also track my sleep because I don't sleep enough. I don't get a lot of sleep. I go to bed late. I wake up early. So I want to do better at sleep because your body heals as you sleep. I'm going to use this Stabilo 46, which is just black, to do my lines. And I'm actually going to write in the numbers before I do that. So for water, I do it by cups instead of ounces. My strawberry cup is 4 cups or 32 ounces. So I only go up to 6 because I know I'm not going to drink too much more than that in a day. If you can drink more water than that, kudos to you. Teach me your ways. And I'm going to put a dot so I know when to stop. That's slightly off, but it's okay. Alright, and now I'm going to add the days of the week underneath. Alright, and that's for water. And then the next one for sleep, the way I do it is I start with, I put 8 plus at the top. And then 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. And then for the last one, I put 2 minus because that means I got 2 or less hours of sleep, which is no bueno. So don't really want to use that line, but. Alright, I got another dot so I can know when to stop. Oh, I'm off, but it's okay. Alright, and now alright. So those are all the trackers. When I go to track all these things throughout the week, I'll use this red one. Kind of like how I used the blue here to do the X's and the circles on my trackers. I'm going to go ahead and add in all of my headers. Alright, so those are all done. And so now for the bottom part where I'm going to do the scripture, that's where I'm going to put down this washi. I'm going to skip one line. And just so that my book doesn't get chunky in the same spots, so I'm not putting washi in the same spots, I will also move this down and rearrange it throughout the weeks so that it can be a little bit different and I can have some variation. I know I see a lot of people who use these rulers to kind of rip their washi, but for some reason that doesn't work for me. So I got this little box cutter thing from Daiso and it works really good. The only thing is knowing the right amount of pressure because you can and will cut through the paper if you are not careful. But it gives a cleaner line for me, especially if I use a ruler. Most of the time I just eyeball it and it's perfectly fine. And it's a ceramic blade, so. Alright, so that's my washi, and now it's time for everyone's favorite part, a little bit of decoration. So I think I'm going to use the one where the cat is holding, I don't even know if I'm in frame, oh my gosh, okay. So I'm going to use this one, which is the cat that has the little strawberries. And I think I'll place it right there. And I think I'll do some strawberry related items or something along the bottom here to make like a little border. I think that'd be nice. So we'll do that. And we'll grab a strawberry from this one. Do I want to grab a strawberry dessert? We'll grab one of these little strawberry tart looking things. And we'll put it in the center. And then there's these hearts and like stars and stuff on here. We'll put some hearts. Oh, it ripped in between those. You can't really see them because they're cream colored, so they kind of blend in with the page, but they're there. All right, I think that looks cute. So for this green washi, I think I'm going to use this one on the bottom. And I think, do I want to box this in? I think I want to box this in for the scripture portion. And we're going to lift up this to put it up underneath. Okay, that's cute. I'm just going to cut off the excess up here. I never know what to do with these tiny bits of washi tape. I feel like it's a waste, but at the same time, they're too little to do anything with. And if you try to stick them on a spread, the Dremel spread, it just kind of looks kind of awkward. So yeah, I don't know what to do with them. Maybe I should just embrace the ripped edges. But I like the precision. Oh my gosh. This does not want to be cut. I like the look of the precision better. And that's not precise. Wow. Okay. Then for this one, we're just going to lift up the little strawberries and put them on top. All right, that's cute. So I also usually do, I write scripture here, but I'll have to get some paper to do that because actually I do have a green piece of paper I was using for my Dremel spread. So we'll take this, and my scissors are still in my backpack from the market. So I'll have to use these little guys. And I'll just cut a haphazard oval. Oh my gosh, that's so bad. These scissors are mostly what I use for embroidery, but I'll use them for paper in a pinch, but they're not the best for paper. They cut nice, it's just, it's really hard to make it look good. And by cut nice, I mean they're sharp. That's too fat. Let's make it a little bit skinnier. All right, that's better. Before I tape it in, I'm going to write scripture, and I'm going to use this one because this doesn't bleed as much through thin paper as my fountain pen does. This doesn't bleed through, but I just want to make sure, because this isn't really nice paper. It's just some craft paper from Daiso. Not the prettiest, but it'll do. And I'm going to use some glue tape. This is really good glue tape. I got this from Daiso. The one I was using before is this one. It's the Scotch one, and it's so, did I even show that? It's the Scotch one. It's so hard to get it onto the paper. This one rolls really nicely, really easily. I really like it, and it was only $2.25. So I will be going back to get more when I run out. And it's quite thin. The Scotch one was a bit thicker, so that made it hard when I was gluing thinner things. The one thing I will say is the Scotch, oh, I closed it. The Scotch one is stickier, so, but I'm not doing anything heavy duty with this stuff anyways. It's just for a planner, so it doesn't need to stick for all of eternity. All right, so I'll add my scripture off camera, and so now I'm gonna go ahead and set this section up. So this is what I do my to-dos, and I also am trying a new thing where I Googled like 100 common words for the languages I'm trying to learn. There's 2, so I'll write them in here, and then after I go through 100 common words, I'll do 100 common phrases, and so on, because oftentimes when you're learning a language, I find that the hardest part to retain is vocabulary, and like in terms of like knowing what things, how to say things. So I'll know how to say like I want, but then I won't know what I'm trying to say I want. So I want to make sure that I can keep up with vocabulary. And I'll fill those in day by day. So I won't be filling those in now. So I'm going to highlight where I put the words in the other languages. They each get 3 lines. In my little monthly stickers, I have these white box stickers, and this is what I wrote socials and business stuff on. That way I don't have to write it every single day of the week. I'm just going to put it at the top. And I put it on the sticker because sometimes the letters interfere. So I'm going to put that here. And then for my business one, that one goes here. So this one gets this many boxes. And as you can see, it says socials at the top. So this is where I'll put what I need to film or post. I'm trying to keep up with social media too, to a degree. I don't really use social media other than watching YouTube videos, but I need to keep up with when I post. And I'm trying to be more consistent with that. So this is where I'll write what I need to post and when. And then on this side is stuff for my business, present and future things. So yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit more decoration, and I will fill in the week around it later on. So I don't do anything Saturday. That's when we do our Bible study. So I'm going to, do I want that one? No. I'm going to put this one where she's collecting strawberries. That's cute. And I'm going to put a piece of washi, layer it underneath. Did I use this one? Yeah. So far, this first week in my new planners, I've been really enjoying it. I love the journal spreads that I've done so far. I just think they're super cute. I will make a video of a flip through at the end of the month of all of my journal spreads in my A5 section, and as well as the weekly section, which is where I do my memory planning. So I will do a flip through. For this one, I'll make a short flipping through because it's not that much. Yeah, so I'm really enjoying these planners. I'm glad that I decided to try out sterling ink this year. This is my first year trying sterling ink. I had a hobonichi cousin for the last 3 years before or prior, but I never bought the weeks because I couldn't afford it. So I'm excited to have both of these this year. Really excited. And I think they're really nice. I haven't used any of these yet, so I think I'm going to grab a green one. And we'll place it here. And then I'll find a small pink one and place it here. Well, do I want to do pink or red? Honestly, we'll do red. And there's a red one up here that I can take. All right. That's looking cute. Trying to see if I want to add any more stickers from this one because it has strawberries in abundance. So we'll take one of these. And where do I want to add this one? Maybe here. I need one in the center somewhere. We'll put it right there. And then we'll take one more from this sheet. One more sticker, probably this heart. And we'll put it here. Well, I don't like how that's a diagonal line. It's a perfect diagonal. How about we put it, well, it's still going to be diagonal. Okay, well, I accidentally made a diagonal line with the stickers, but that's okay. Maybe we can break it up with another sticker. Let's do these strawberries. and put them here. I'm really trying to get out of the habit of saving stickers because, like, for what? If I don't use them now, when will I ever use them? And I have a bad habit of being like, oh, but I want to use it in this, or I want to use it in that. But honestly, if I don't use them now, again, when will I use them? I can't take them with me when I die. And I have the perfect opportunities to use them now. So this year I'm really focusing on busting through a lot of my sticker stash because it's gotten quite out of hand, if I'm being completely honest. It's absolutely ridiculous. So we're going to take care of that this year and make sure it doesn't get any worse than it already is. I want to add one more. I think I'll add it right there. All right. So this is all I'm going to do for now. I will fill in these as I go through the week, and you will see a completed spread of this when I do a flip through video. So subscribe if you're interested in seeing that. And if you liked what you saw, consider subscribing, but only if you want to. With that being said, you never have to be the best, just try your best, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye, friends!